Hi everyone, my name is Tatiana and today I have the Hero Arts Home for the Holidays I Want It All bundle to show you. And this bundle has as the basis this front door, which I just absolutely love. It's got 4 layers to it, which is just basically different shading for the door. And I was thinking that this layer that puts this shadow on, you could put some glitter gel in and make it sort of look like snow. I think that would be a really cool idea. So that's the basis, and then this is a die set called the Winter Wreath die set, and as you can see, it makes 2 different sizes of wreaths for the door, and this side, like, there's 2 layers to each wreath. So this is large, this is small, obviously, and then it also comes with the word joy, also in large, or here's the smaller version. So this size is size to go with this wreath, and then this size is size to go with this wreath. There's 1 very large bow. There are 2 orange slices that come with 2 layers each. There are 2 cinnamon sticks, and there's a door hanger for the wreath. And this little piece is the front for the bow, and then there's 3 sizes of baubles to go on the wreath. So that's the main set, and then if you want, there's an accessory set. It's called the Winter Wreath Accessories die set, and this set includes some really cute little houses, 4 types of bows, and I am a bow person. I love to wear bows, and I love to put bows on my cards, so this is a win-win for me. So, by the way, if you get both of these sets, this comes as a bundle if you want, or you can buy them separately. But if you buy them together, you will have every size of bow that you could possibly want. And these bows do not have to just go on the wreath. You can put them on your little animals or people that you have on the front of your cards. It also comes, here, I've cut these out to show you here. So it comes with both the back of the house and then the front of the house. So if you want, you can layer it together, and you could make the back layer yellow so it would look like there were lights on in the house, or you could just put the houses on white cardstock, and then the white would just show through. You don't have to layer it up if you don't want to. Here are the little trees that come with it. There's a little string of lights, so here's the string, and then these tiny little baubles here are sized to go on that string. So these are meant to go on the wreath, so it looks like they're sort of wrapped around the wreath. So you would take a few sections, just put it intermittently around the wreath so it looks like it's lit up. And it also comes with larger baubles for the larger wreath. And the orange slices are not part of this die. I just have them there to show you, but yeah, and these are the larger sized baubles. Now, if you want to see what the words look like on the first die, these are the 2 sizes for joy, and then these are the sizes that, these are the sizes of baubles that this die cuts out. So there's 3 sizes. There's the door hanger, and yeah, so that's those 2 dies. And then there are 2 sentiment sets that come along with it. And this one is called the Season's Greeting stamp set, like I showed you in my last video. And this comes as 1 piece, 1 solid piece. So you stamp the whole thing, and then you can either cut it out with your trimmer, or I believe they have a die set that also will cut the whole thing out for you, but you don't need that. And then this is called the, I wrote it here so I could read it. What does it say? Very Merry Wishes stamp set. And as you can see, this is more of a script stamp set. And it also comes with dies. And this one has some really cute sayings on it. So I'll show you some cards that I made with these products. Okay, so for the first one, I made this really cute large wreath. And then I put some glossy accents on it. So the baubles looked like they do stand up. And then when the glossy accents was wet, I just kind of went around with a bit of glitter and put some glitter in the glossy accents. And I used this medium-sized wreath. I cut the joy out of glitter foam so it stands up a bit from the card. And the backdrop is an embossing folder called In the Pines, which I don't believe is available anymore, but I will link below one that is very, very similar that looks just like it. Okay, here's another card using the little houses from the set, and also the scripty sentiment stamp and die. And also I forgot to mention that these trees, the tiniest bauble is sized for this little size of tree, so it's kind of cute. It looks like a little village with trees all lit up. And then here's the smaller wreath on a smaller card. This embossing folder, I'll link it below. I can't think of the name of it right now, but it creates this really cute frame. And then this is another 3D cut and embossing folder, which cuts and embosses at the same time, which I will also link below because I can't remember the name of it either. And here is the other sentiment stamp set. And this one I just used a little bit of gold marker to highlight the bow, and I think I actually used some glossy accents on that one too. Okay, here is the door with the larger wreath on it, and I've used the Scripty stamp down here, and these baubles I didn't add any glossy accents to, and I just added the bows. And also I wanted to tell you what colors I used in case you wanted to use them. If you have them. So I used Candied Apple, Distress Oxide Candied Apple, VersaFine Clair Tulip Red, and then I used a couple of blues, Distress Ink Prize Ribbon and Distress Ink Stormy Sky. And then for the last one, I did it in blue, and this one, I'll just get the colors out of the way first. I used Tumbled Glass for the first layer, Salvage Patina, Concord and 9th Aqua Sky, and I used Peacock Feathers for the darkest layer. And then this one, I put the Joy in there, and I cut the baubles out of some glitter foam. And the other difference I wanted to show you was that if you create the stencil as it is, this is the size that it will be. This one I cut down a little bit because this is an A2 card, and then this card is neither A2 nor A7. It's sort of in between. I believe it's 4.5 by 5 3/4. So you could put this in a 5 by 7 envelope, and it's a little bit bigger, as you can see. But if you only have envelopes for A2, you could just cut it down a little bit and it'll be this size. And I think maybe the reasoning behind that was that if you leave it large, you can put the bigger wreath on it, and if you cut it down a little, the smaller wreath would probably not look out of place on a card this size. Okay, so let's clear these away and we'll make a couple of projects. One more thing, I also forgot to show you the inside of this card. I just thought it was so cute with the little bow in there. Look at that. Okay. So for this store, I use 3 Simon Says stamp inks that sort of coordinate with each other. The first one was Celery, the second one was Limelicious, and the third one was Perfection. And for the darkest color, I used an ink by the Stamp Market called Leafy. And this first layer of the stencil is the most open, and it takes quite a bit of ink blending. I would say that I spent probably 3 to 5 minutes ink blending this, and I was wishing that I had one of those larger brushes. Now, I'm going to say pardon me in advance because you're going to see the top of my head here for a second, and the reason that I want to keep this in and not take it out is that, can you see that I'm lining that, oh my gosh, look at that head. Can you see that I'm lining the stencil up with the 4 little holes that are at the top, in each corner of the stencil? And what you do is you take a little micron pen or some little really tiny tipped pen, and you go in there and you color in those little squares, and then each successive stencil lines up with those little black dots that you leave on the paper. And I tried not doing that and instead just putting the stencil at the corner of my cardstock, and it did not work for me. And I think that's why those are there, because they have it all perfectly lined up for you as long as you color in those little black dots. So we're getting a little faster here. This is the second stencil, and this is the one that I was mentioning earlier would probably look nice if you first ink blended, as I'm doing now, and then maybe if you went in after you'd done all 4 layers of the ink blending, if you took some glitter paste and went back to that layer. I actually meant to do that and then I totally forgot. So as you can see, I'm lining it up again with those black dots and then putting my tape down. And these second, third, well actually third and fourth layers are really quick. They're just the little shading on the indentations in the door, and it doesn't take long at all. It's just that first layer takes quite a bit of ink blending. And as I was saying, I was really wishing I had one of those giant size brushes that are sort of popular right now. I'm going to invest in those as soon as I can find one that I like. I think I've been doing a little bit of research, and I think I'm going to buy the Pinkfresh Studio ones because they are not shaped the same as the brush that I'm using here. They're more sort of up and down. Anyway, here is the great reveal. Woo, look at that. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to glue on here is the, what is that? The door hanger. And that's a pretty easy little thing. It does have two pieces to it. There's a little, I guess it's the nail, the little black dot at the top is the nail. And for the sentiment, what I did was I took the first color of ink, which was celery, and I blended it on a piece of paper, and then I stamped my greeting onto that, and then I cut it out with the die. And the reason I did that was because I didn't want it to be on stark white paper. I wanted it to blend in with the rest of the card so that it wasn't just too white looking. And for this bow, I took some foam tape just so that it stood up a little bit from the wreath. And the bottom of the bow was bothering me. It was sort of hanging there and it was sticking up a little bit too much, and I didn't like what it was doing, and I wanted it connected to the card. So I just took some foam tape and I cut some tiny little pieces of foam tape, and as you can see, I'm sticking it right in behind there and just attaching it down to the card, but not directly flat on the card like you would with glue, just so that it's even all the way across. And then I'm taking all these little baubles that I cut out, and I'm just putting them around the wreath so that no color is really next to each other, next to itself. Like there's no blue next to a blue. I'm just sort of spacing it out all the way around. And then I'm going around with my crystal katana and my glue and adhering them all down. And I think that I like this size of bauble for this wreath. I just prefer it. It looks, I like it with the big bauble, but I think this is my favorite to have it with this size of bauble. And that's it. That's how easy it is to make that card. And I think that this might be my Christmas card for Christmas 2026. Now, if you like making tags, this is a really simple little tag that you can make. I just used a tag set by Spellbinders that unfortunately is not being sold anymore, but most of us have a tag set in our collection, so any little tag will do. And for the wreath, I just put the glue around the middle section of the wreath so that the edges would, so that you could sort of bend the edges up and make them sort of come off of the tag a little bit, make them a little bit three-dimensional. But that's it, just two little rings of glue, and then you can sort of fluff them up on the edges if you like. You don't even have to, but I think it looks nicer when you do that. If I had had the time and patience, I probably would have taken some foam tape and put it behind there, but it's such a small little area, I just didn't have the time or patience, as I said, so I just glued them right down. Also, I'm positioning the wreaths so that there is enough room at the top for me to punch a hole should I wish to put some ribbon in it and attach it to a gift. You can also just tape tags, obviously onto the top of gifts, but I just thought I would leave that option open for myself in case I wanted to attach a ribbon, because I might make these in bulk too. I'm just not sure yet. These were really easy to do, and I think they're super cute, so I envision myself probably making a whole bunch of these, and I'm just not sure yet if I'm going to use ribbon or just tape them onto the front of the present. Alright, so here is a summary of all the cards that we looked at today. I think this one is my favorite, and as I said, I think this is going to be my Christmas card for this year because I just love it. But it might be a tie with these cute little tags because I also love them, so I think I'm going to make a whole bunch more of them. Why don't you let me know which you like the best, because I'm always interested to hear what you, the viewer, like, because it's not necessarily the same as what I like. So if you're enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up if you can, and think about subscribing because I assure you there will be more of these videos coming. And I just want to take this time to thank you very much for watching if you're at this point, because I appreciate it more than you could possibly imagine.